The courtroom was packed, the air thick with tension. Every seat was filled, and the low murmur of whispers barely masked the weight of what was about to unfold. Reporters lined the back row, cameras poised, their shutters clicking as they prepared to capture what should have been a straightforward case. But today was anything but routine. At the defendant's table sat Officer Daniel McCarthy, a seasoned cop with years on the force. His record? Tainted. A history of misconduct allegations buried, brushed aside like dust under a rug. Across from him, shackled at the wrists and ankles, stood Maya Caldwell, a black woman in her mid-40s. Though bound, her posture was unwavering, her eyes calm, betraying no fear. She knew the game being played. She had seen injustice before, and today, she was at the center of it. McCarthy had accused her of obstruction, claiming she had interfered with an arrest. A convenient excuse, and the judge, a longtime friend of McCarthy's, had wasted no time in pushing the case forward. No delays, no deliberation, a quick trial with an even quicker sentence. That was the plan. McCarthy leaned back, smirking. He'd been here before. Another easy victory. Another opponent crushed. Where are you watching from today? Let us know in the comments below. The gavel struck. Sharp. Final. The trial had begun. Officer McCarthy, state your case, the judge ordered. McCarthy stood, adjusting his uniform, his expression smug. Your Honor, he began, his voice thick with authority. Miss Caldwell was at the scene of an arrest. She refused to leave when ordered and attempted to interfere with police operations. He turned, throwing Maya a glance that dripped with arrogance. She was aggressive, combative, non-compliant. The judge nodded, his face void of emotion, but the decision was already written in his eyes. And what do you suggest as punishment? McCarthy's lips curled. Jail time, Your Honor. We need to send a message. A ripple of murmurs swept through the courtroom. Maya had barely spoken, yet McCarthy had painted her as a menace, a disruptor, a threat. The judge barely hesitated. Miss Caldwell, do you have anything to say in your defense? Maya lifted her chin. Yes, Your Honor, she said, her voice steady. McCarthy exhaled dramatically, rolling his eyes. Make it quick. Maya ignored him. Slowly, deliberately, she took a step forward. The metal chains around her wrists clinked against one another, their sound cutting through the silence like a blade. I was at the scene that day, she said, her gaze locked onto the judge. But not as a bystander. McCarthy scoffed. Oh yeah? Then what exactly were you doing there? Maya's lips curved into a knowing smile. She reached into the pocket of her jumpsuit and pulled out a single laminated ID card. Holding it up for the courtroom to see, she let the weight of the moment settle. Special Agent Maya Caldwell, Federal Bureau of Investigation. The room froze. Gasps erupted from every direction. The reporters leaned forward, their cameras clicking furiously. The judge's face drained of color. McCarthy's confidence shattered in an instant. He stumbled back, his eyes wide. That's fake, he sputtered. This has to be some kind of joke. Maya arched a brow. Is it? From the back of the courtroom, two men in dark suits stepped forward. They moved with authority, flashing their own badges. Agent Caldwell has been working undercover for the past 6 months, one of them announced. We have overwhelming evidence of police corruption, excessive force, and falsified reports, all linked to Officer McCarthy. McCarthy's smirk vanished. No, this isn't right. His voice cracked. She was in handcuffs. Maya lifted her wrists. Standard procedure, she said coolly. We needed to see how far you go. The judge looked ill. His grip on the gavel tightened, as though trying to steady himself. There must be some mistake. There's no mistake, Your Honor, Maya said, turning to the agents. The warrant. One of the agents nodded. Ready. Officer Daniel McCarthy, he declared, stepping forward. You are under arrest for multiple counts of misconduct, abuse of power, and obstruction of justice. The color drained from McCarthy's face. He thrashed in the agent's grip as they grabbed his arms. Wait. I didn't do anything wrong. Maya tilted her head. Funny, she murmured. That's exactly what I said. The sound of handcuffs clicking shut was deafening. The courtroom erupted into chaos. Reporters fought for the best angle, their voices colliding in a frantic storm of questions. The judge sat frozen, his forehead damp with sweat, knowing full well that his own involvement in shielding McCarthy was at risk of exposure. Maya, now free from her own shackles, stepped forward. This trial isn't over, she said, her voice sharp. It's just beginning. As McCarthy was dragged from the courtroom, his protests faded into the background. Maya remained standing unmoved. Justice had been set into motion, and she was going to make sure it didn't stop. But this was just the beginning. In the days that followed, the scandal exploded. The FBI launched a full-scale investigation into the city's police force. Raids were carried out, uncovering a deep-rooted network of corruption that implicated not just officers, but high-ranking officials. The media frenzy was relentless. Citizens flooded the streets, demanding justice. The weight of public outrage grew with every damning revelation. Top officials scrambled, desperate to distance themselves from the scandal, but it was too late. The evidence was irrefutable. Several officers resigned in disgrace. Others were arrested in dramatic early morning raids. The justice system, once complacent, was now under a harsh and unforgiving spotlight. Maya, though suddenly thrust into national attention, never lost focus. Each revelation exposed new layers of deception, new battles that needed to be fought. She wasn't done. She couldn't be. Late one evening, as she sat in her office, her phone buzzed. She answered. Agent Caldwell. Came a familiar voice. One of the agents from the courtroom. His tone was serious. We just uncovered something big. Bigger than we expected. Maya's fingers tightened around the phone. How big? The agent hesitated, then exhaled. We have a list. Names. High-profile people. Politicians, business leaders. People with serious influence. They've been pulling the strings from the shadows. Maya let the words settle, her pulse steady. She had known this went deep. But this changed everything. Then we don't stop, she said. Her voice was firm, unshaken. We take them all down. As she hung up, she turned to the window, staring out at the city skyline. The battle was far from over, but one thing was certain. Justice had found its champion, and she wasn't backing down. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more powerful narratives. Let's keep spreading messages of truth, integrity, and justice. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.